Over 1 million Americans just lost power, and this storm is still getting stronger. The models got this wrong, folks. Ice accumulations are running higher than forecasted, and we just shattered a 121-year-old snowfall record in Central Park. This storm underwent bombogenesis off the coast, and it is not done yet. Welcome, everybody. Let's get into it, because this situation is developing fast. So here's what happened. The Weather Prediction Center used language we almost never see in official forecasts. They called this crippling to locally catastrophic. That is government meteorologists saying catastrophic. And honestly, they might have undersold it. State officials in Kentucky just confirmed what a lot of us were suspecting. Ice accumulations are more than expected. The forecasts were too low. And we are seeing that play out in real time across multiple states right now. Let me show you exactly what I mean with some of these numbers, because they are absolutely wild. Columbus, Ohio, was forecast to get maybe 4 to 5 inches of snow. They got 11.6 inches. The old record was 4.7 inches, set back in 1988. They did not just break it, they obliterated it by 7 inches. Central Park in New York City just recorded 11.4 inches. The previous record for this date was 10 inches, set in 1905. We just broke a record that stood for 121 years, folks. Kansas City was supposed to get around 2 inches based on early forecasts. They ended up with 5.2 inches, more than double. Wichita had the same story. They nearly tripled their daily record. This is what I mean when I say the storm exploded faster than the models predicted. Now here's the part that really concerns me. The icy. Officials in Nashville said something that really stuck with me. They said they cannot remember an ice event of this magnitude in terms of impact. They cannot even remember tornado or wind events with this kind of damage. These are people who have been there for decades. Mississippi Emergency Management confirmed they have not seen a storm of this magnitude in terms of ice since 1994. That is over 30 years, folks. Let me run through some of these ice totals, because they explain why we are seeing such catastrophic power outages. Rayville, Louisiana received 1 inch of ice. Oxford and Lexington, Mississippi also received 1 inch. Linden, Virginia recorded 2 inches of ice. 2 inches. That is absolutely devastating for infrastructure. The Greenville-Spartanburg area of South Carolina received 1 inch of ice. This was their first ice storm warning in over 20 years. The models had shown maybe half an inch for many of these areas. They received double that. And this is why we crossed 1 million power outages on Sunday afternoon. Drop your location in the comments if you lost power. I want to see where you're watching from and what you're dealing with right now. At the peak, we hit 1,005,641 customers without power, according to poweroutage.us. That was around 2:14 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. As of this morning, we are still at 822,000 plus customers without power, and here's the scary part. That number might actually go up today. The National Weather Service Emergency Response Team in Virginia said they are expecting outages to actually increase. More power outages are coming due to the weight of the ice and the gusty winds that are moving in. Think about that. The storm is winding down, and outages are expected to increase. That shows how heavy this ice load is on the trees and the power lines. Tennessee got hit the hardest, with 290,000 to 350,000 outages. Mississippi had 157,000 to 180,000. Louisiana had over 122,000. Kentucky had anywhere from 75,000 to 140,000. Nashville Electric Service put this in perspective. They said the derecho a few years ago caused roughly 200,000 customers to lose power. This storm hit 230,000 customers. They called it one of the most significant events they have ever dealt with. And they are warning that restoration could span days or longer. Duke Energy has deployed 18,000 workers from 27 states and Canada. They said ice makes falling branches 30 times heavier. 30 times. That is why we are seeing so much damage. Now let me explain why this storm got so strong so fast. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration confirmed this system underwent bombogenesis. That means the central pressure dropped by at least 24 millibars in 24 hours. That is the technical definition of a bomb cyclone, and this system qualified. But here is what really supercharged it. There was a forecast shift on January 22nd and January 23rd when the storm tracked farther north than originally expected. Meteorologists reported an increasing likelihood that the massive winter storm would merge with a disturbance coming out of the northern plains, and then intensify into an even more powerful system off the east coast. That is exactly what happened. Two systems merged, and together they created this monster storm. The northward shift meant heavier precipitation for Louisville, which got upgraded to 8+ inches. It also meant bigger totals along the entire Interstate 95 corridor. Reports confirmed many areas of the Northeast exceeded forecasts, with 10 to 15 inches falling in eastern Pennsylvania and 6 to 10 inches in northern New Jersey. Peak totals reached 31 inches at Bonito Lake, New Mexico. Pennsylvania reported 20 inches. New York recorded 17.6 inches. Connecticut recorded 17 inches. State officials in Massachusetts called this the biggest storm they have seen in years. Now, unfortunately, I have to tell you about the human cost here. At least 12 people have died from this storm so far. 5 people were found dead outside in New York as temperatures plunged. Tennessee has confirmed at least 4 deaths, including an 8-year-old killed in a black ice crash. 2 men died of hypothermia in Louisiana. 1 person died in Texas, and a 19-year-old college student was found dead in Michigan after going missing without a coat. This is why we take these storms seriously, folks. This is not hype. This is life and death. And the cold behind this storm is absolutely brutal. Wind chills in Minnesota and North Dakota hit -50 to -55 degrees. Copenhagen, New York recorded a -49-degree wind chill. Watertown, New York recorded an actual temperature of -34 degrees. Flint, Michigan got within 1 degree of their all-time record low. Dallas-Fort Worth is looking at potential record lows below 12 degrees, with extreme cold warnings through Tuesday morning. This pattern is not breaking anytime soon. Temperatures are running 25 to 35 degrees below normal across the upper Midwest. No significant thaw is expected until early February. So what does this mean going forward? The storm itself is in its final stages this morning. Snow is still falling in northern New England and parts of Appalachia. The system should fully exit overnight into Tuesday morning, with northern New England potentially getting up to another half foot before it is done. But here is the thing. Recovery is going to take a long time. Utility companies across the region are warning outages could last days or longer. Duke Energy is preparing for potential multi-day outages. Dominion Energy in Virginia is preparing for the same. Emergency management officials warned that heavy ice, combined with low temperatures and wind gusts, could cause power outages for several days. Over 20 states have declared emergencies. FEMA has prepositioned 250,000 meals, 400,000 liters of water, and 30 generators. 28 urban search and rescue teams are on standby. This is being treated like a major disaster response, because that is exactly what it is. If you are in the affected areas, please stay safe. Stay off the roads. Check on elderly neighbors. If you have lost power and do not have heat, find a warming center or get somewhere safe. Are you seeing damage in your area? Let me know in the comments what it looks like where you are. All right, folks, that is the latest on this historic storm. If this helped you out, hit that subscribe button. I will be back with another update as we track the recovery. Believe it or not, there is already another system we need to watch for next weekend. Stay safe out there. I will see you in the next one.